Chickanetti,
Present.
Trustee Hillier,
Present.
Trustee Pennock,
Present.
Fiscal Officer Patriarca.
Present.
Okay. Continuing the public hearing for zoning case 2023-0001-ZC proposed map amendment that proposes to amend the FPUD zoning of 11 parcels, which consists of approximately 378 acres of land to be developed into a mixed density residential development at 436 Casement Avenue. In light of us just receiving an updated application and development plan, we have nothing new to add at this point, and we're going to continue the public hearing to our next meeting, which is on April 4th at 7:30 p.m. at this present time.
Want to give an update or anything?
Well, the update is we did go to them with some of the changes that we wanted to see in the agreement. They have come back with many of the updates and asks that we wanted to have amended. We really hadn't had much time to digest all of the changes that came through last night. I know some of the things, if you want to hit on real quick, if you wanted to update on the unit count, and then we can vote to.
I'll just say, so this is an ongoing negotiation. They submitted their package. It's like a wish list. So they submitted their application like a wish list. This is what we want. And now it comes to us, and we have to process it back and forth. So everything is a negotiation, which is how these things always work. It's back and forth. We had the public open to the public hearing last meeting. We heard from numerous people. There's been multiple communications. Weighed all that into our discussions. We continue to go back and forth. We received an email, I believe it was last night, with an updated on the supplement, not correcting, but getting everybody at the same page. But there's still more that has to go back and forth. So past that, there's really nothing more to offer at this point. I see there's a number of people here. And if somebody wanted to speak, the public session has been closed, but you can always address us at the meeting when this public session closes under new business. So if you wanted to say something, that would be your time to get up and speak. This is the public hearing, and that was closed at the last meeting. So the public input and the discussion that way. So, but you can always address us at the normal meeting. I hope that's understood. It's just the way the process plays. So,
okay. Good. So motion to continue the public hearing to the April 4th, 2023 meeting.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the March 9th, 2023 meeting.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Summary of the work session, please.
Today during the work session, we discussed the annual parade, which was last Sunday, which was well attended and supported by residents and businesses alike. Additionally, we ratified and the trustees will be signing the collective bargaining agreement with the fire union today. On the fire side, their ISO evaluation will take place April 12th. The chief gave some grant updates and also let us know that we have received reimbursement payment for the cleanup services that we helped provide. The service director discussed pricing on new truck builds and the increased cost of new truck builds. The regional basin contract with Aqueduct we will be doing for a year to maintain the basins. The beaver dam updates, we've removed 5 beavers and we will now begin the removal of the dam that they created. Stormwater discussions on Wintergreen and North Creek, and the upcoming road repair program pre-con will be next week. The only thing we discussed was the casement proposal updates.
And then we had executive session for
Consider the purchase of property for the public use, consider the discussion and hiring of a new fire chief, and the salary payments and increases for non-union people.
Thank you. Okay. Any old business from the floor? Okay. Any new business from the floor? Yes, sir. You know the routine, John? You know the routine?
Yes, I do. Good morning, John Music, 45 Cumberland Drive, Painesville Township. I just got a couple things, and I've been saying it at the commissioners' meetings and everywhere where I go. It's just like, the day when the sergeant comes in here and he says, "Oh man," he says, "the list has really gotten small. We have nobody in our jail. I haven't made any arrests, and things are not good here." And I'm saying here, I'm saying our country, which last time I know, Painesville Township is part of our country. And you, as you all know, Painesville Township is a border community. Just like, for instance, 70,000 migrants this year have come across, that they caught, come across the northern border. Now, I remember years ago, and maybe Sergeant Felby could correct me, I remember that it was either the sheriff's boat or somebody caught something coming into our country illegally from the north side. It was a few years ago. I don't remember the exact thing, but people got to realize, you know, just like now what we've heard about Painesville here recently last month about the drug cartels and all this stuff. I've been working this for over 20, almost 25 years. And that's in D.C., down to Columbus, Arizona, Texas. I've been invited within the last couple of years again to go back to Arizona, to Texas, down to Nashville, down to Florida, and to DC. But DC was canceled because of COVID. But the thing about it is, all I'm saying is, don't think it isn't here. The cartels are here, and they're very powerful. They're in 46 countries. And my friend used to be on the anti-gang unit down in Los Angeles County, and then he moved here to Ohio, and he headed the gang unit for not Lake County Sheriff, but another sheriff. And he said, John, this is 10. He said, don't you ever think the cartels and the gangs are not here. They are here. And living proof, not just, you know, a few weeks ago, look what happens over there in Painesville when they made the raid there and so forth and so forth. So all I'm saying is, don't ever assume everything's okay. We've got to keep working at it. And just like, as you know, I've spoken many times here and wherever, law enforcement's your number one priority, in my opinion. Because without that, you know, we have our children, we have ourselves, and so forth to take care of. And our kids come first because they're unable to basically protect themselves. So may it be at school or may it be everywhere else. So the thing of, and that's the only thing. So I just wanted to mention that, you know, just like Joey Thomas, you know him, Council on Aging, and I also, besides the sheriff and like JFS, you know, Susan Kazar, she's a director there. I say, are you guys busy? And yeah, they're busy here, you know. And the thing about, just like, for instance, maybe you do or don't know, just like now, there's $931 billion on the credit card debt, okay? There's $276 billion on the fraud from the COVID pandemic relief fund that was out there. And 3 inspector generals have said they're going to look into it, but they doubt very much they're going to get that money back. And just remember, every dollar that's, I'll say, misspent devalues our dollar. It's like, you know, once you retire, you'll find out. And their seniors are hurting here in Painesville Township and everywhere else. So, you know, just remember, 1 out of 4 as of the 2020 census in Lake County were seniors, and they're predicting in 23 to be 1 out of 3. Who knows? But that's what they're predicting. The county was telling us that. So that's all I want to say about that. And lastly, I'll say I encourage everybody. Well, if you want to go to the commission meeting, it's 10 o'clock this Thursday. 7 o'clock is Riverside's. I highly recommend that everybody go to their school board meetings, because what you think is happening, in my opinion, is not what is truly happening. So I highly recommend that you go to your school board meetings. So, and I'll close with this. And just like I've told you and I've told everywhere I go, just be good stewards of our taxpayer dollars. And definition of a steward means being responsible for something that does not belong to you. Remember, it's the people's money. I know everybody pays taxes. I understand that. But, you know, so that's all I'm saying is do what's right for the people, because there's a lot of people struggling out there. And people say, oh, well, this, that. Well, this is a tough time right now. I mean, my parents were through the Depression and all that, the both world wars. And I remember used to saying, hey, 1 slice of bread and 1 slice of meat, that's all you get. You got 3 pairs of shoes. Your church school shoes, your play shoes, and your gym shoes, but you didn't put them on until you went and got to school. So, yeah. My dad worked 3 jobs. So, no, he wasn't rich by no means. He had 4 kids. So, but anyhow, I'm just saying, you know, someday you'll look back and you'll say, you know, hopefully you guys will never go through something like that. But all I can say is there's a lot of people hurting. So just think of us. Okay.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Me too. Okay. Any other new business? Okay. Lake County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning. Thank you guys all for coming to watch me
so.
today. For the month of February 2023, we responded to 1,290 calls for service. Of those calls for service, 5 were for injury accidents, 8 property damage accidents involving vehicles. 4 males were arrested for OVI, plus 1 additional male who was operating a vehicle intoxicated and caused an accident. 3 females for disorderly conduct were arrested. 1 male for disorderly conduct was arrested. An adult male for possession of dangerous drugs. 2 adult males for domestic violence. An adult male for possession of a controlled substance, cocaine, and an adult male for possession of for methamphetamine, and that was a canine hit. And then another male for domestic violence. 35 alarms, 29 citations were issued for various traffic violations. 249 warnings were issued for various traffic violations. 6 of those violations were driving under suspension. 16 disturbances, 16 additional domestic violence that did not have to result in an arrest. 2 sex offenses involving minors, and 58 suspicious circumstances, vehicles, and persons. We conducted 30 traffic details for various roadways and developments where we've had issues with traffic violations, and 32 welfare checks. We had an issue with a lot of thefts from vehicles and breaking and enterings of vehicles. We were able to apprehend those 2 responsible parties. One was Johnny McElroy, and the other was Amelia Sullivan, both of Painesville City. While we were investigating one of the breaking and enterings to a vehicle, we got an alert that their credit card was used at an area of business. We responded to that area location. They already left. We did a check of the area, saw these 2 individuals walking, and then they were carrying items that matched previous breaking and enterings to vehicles the days before. They were stopped, apprehended, and all of the items that were stolen from various locations were recovered. And that was a combined effort between the Road Patrol, some of the Detective Bureau, and some Painesville City PD also had a bunch of issues in their city from these 2 people. So it was a collaborative effort, but good eye for the deputies that were out patrolling the area and checking. Lieutenant Ropus of our agency, he's one of many that just graduated from the Police Executive Leadership College. It's a 3-week executive leadership training that goes on over 3 months. It's very intensive and time consuming. And he's our most recent graduate. We have 3 other supervisors that are slated to go here within the year. We hired Juan Rodriguez. He was a corrections officer with us. He just graduated the academy, so he's our newest training recruit out there on the road right now. So you'll see him riding around with a field training officer. Deputy Peterlin is on solo patrol since we last spoke. He was on field training, but now he's on solo patrol, so you'll see him out there. And then we just hired Matt Byers. He is the retired Madison Township Police Chief from this past couple weeks, and now he will be helping in our Detective Bureau. He's also certified in a certified OPATA instructor, mounted unit, range instructor, etc. So he'll be a good asset. We'll be getting the speed trailers out here shortly. We don't like to bring them out when the weather's bad because the salt destroys them, and then rust, and then we leave ruts in yards and right-of-ways. So those will be coming out here shortly. Parade went well. We'll probably add another deputy to the 5 that we have for traffic control for next year because we had a lot of people standing out in the middle of Menor Avenue. I didn't particularly like that, but plus it's going to be on Sunday and St. Patrick's Day alone, so we'll probably add another guy for that. Our canines were at Riverside schools to do a sweep of the building, and the cars that are out were outside, so that was successful. Our phone app for the Lake County Sheriff's Office has been updated. We now have traffic cameras on there. You can look for your crash reports on there. If you have a missing pet, you can report your pet missing on there and it will send an alert out. And some other various options. So if you have an iPhone or an Android, it's Lake COOH Sheriff's Office. Or you can go onto our Facebook, see the QR code there. So I encourage you to download that. You'll get emergency alerts too, traffic alerts, etc. Flock cameras. I just dealt with, and I sent Holly a copy of the email I sent her. It's a pretty strongly worded email, so I finally got a phone call back from them. Hopefully by the end of the month, I was told by the state that they'll have the permitting process ironed out. We'll see if that's so, but she says hopefully by the end of the month, beginning of April, she'll be able to start issuing those permits. So if you want a copy of what I sent them, and I sent a copy of your letter with it to them, Holly could probably forward it to you, or I could send it to you again too. And that is all that I have right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
So, you mentioned the new hires. Is that we met in the Township Association, met with Commissioner Hamachek and the sheriff in the fourth quarter. I believe it was fourth quarter last year. Spoke of 4 new hires coming in to be on road patrol, but not designated to a specific township. Are these part of the hires in relation to that? Do you know?
No. These are just ongoing hires that we are trying to fill our spots. So we're sitting pretty. Everybody's pretty much where they need to be. Painesville Township is is in a position where we've had deputies slated for Painesville Township. So you guys are at your numbers. But it's just the ongoing issue of filling through attrition and other measures. But there's actually plenty more that are on the books slated to be hired. They're finishing up their process right now, and an academy just started, and we have 3 people in there right now.
So that 4 that was discussed at that meeting would be part of what you're referring to then?
Are you talking about what the county's going to fund?
Yes. So
No,
there's
this is not that yet.
Because that's still up in the air from my understanding at this point.
what's that, Gabe?
That's still up in the air at this point from my understanding.
But they
Even though it was
they
slated
committed
and confirmed,
to,
it's
they
not
committed
actually.
to it, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't actually.
Yeah, that he is right. It has not been That has not been finalized yet.
Okay.
And as buyers, is he an add-on or is he replacing in the bureau?
We were short one guy in the
Okay.
bureau, so
So
he's
filling a slot that was empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Service department.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Can I let them go?
I was just gonna. You literally read my mind. I was just gonna tell him if they want to. George wants to go. He can.
Yeah, George, if you want to go, you can.
Our brush drop-off program will begin on Saturday, April 1st, and continue on Saturdays and Wednesdays through the end of November. Saturdays 10 to 2, Wednesdays 7:30 to 3. That is located at our service garage at 558 Fairport Nursery Road. This service is for township residents only. Yard service contractors are not permitted.
He's checked right to verify proof of
Yes.
residency.
Yes. We will be having our pre-construction meetings for our road projects coming up this Thursday for our asphalt paving project, and next Wednesday for the new sidewalk on Bohall Road, and also our OPWC project of concrete road replacement in the Bohall area. So there'll be a lot of road construction on our behalf in the township this summer.
Great, thank you.
That's all I have.
Chief?
No report.
Zoning?
Nothing to add, Mr. Chairman.
Legal? Not here. Administrator?
Nothing additional.
Nothing additional. Fiscal officer?
I have nothing at this time.
Okay. Trustees, I need a motion to request a resolution approving contribution of $4,000 to the Fairport Harbor Community Senior Center.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to request a resolution declaring April Child Abuse Prevention Month in Painesville Township.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to request a resolution to approve the labor contract between the Painesville Township Board of Trustees and the International Association of Firefighters Local 3411 through January 1, 2023 through December 31, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 4 was tabled. Number 5, I need a motion to request a resolution to approve the 2023 salary increases effective March 1, 2023 with the attached amendment.
Would you?
The attached amendment, she's got the
Okay. So moved.
You said March 1, correct?
Yeah, backdated March 1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
No.
Motion adjourned at 11:23.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If anybody has any questions or wants to talk, we're available. So